but I'm not going to get too hyped because, again, I'm only 7 hours in. A lot could still go wrong and the game could fall apart and not stick the landing. But yeah, those are just my first impressions. Ladies and gentlemen, they didn't really stick the landing. Well, not in the way I would have hoped, at least. No, wait, I'm not saying this is a bad game. Not by any means. However, the longer I was playing, the more issues started to stick out. But I will say for the first post-RPG era Assassin's Creed, I think this is a good baseline for them to improve on, and I had a lot of fun, but I'm gonna start with the main issue I had, which is that stealth is just a suggestion. Stealth is back, it's fun sneaking around and, clearing out places without being seen or raising the alarm. The game kind of wants you to be stealthy with how they overwhelm you with guards, and when you get caught and raise the alarm, it'd be smart to play that way. And all these skills lean towards being stealthy and scouting ahead, but this is where the game kind of contradicts itself a bit for me. It's kind of suggesting to be stealthy, but there's no real consequence for not being stealthy. The weapons have stat benefits like in an RPG, but they're all based around combat and fighting, except the outfits that lowers your movement sound and how loud you are when you do stealth takedowns. But the way the AI is, they don't hear you anyway, and the AI is just Ubisoft AI, so no explanation needed there. As for the missions, there's literally 2 to 3 missions I played that fail if you get detected. Other than that, you can run headfirst into guards and get into a brawl every mission if you want and still complete it. There's no real reason to be stealthy. And that's where the contract missions come in. They actually have side objectives like don't be seen or detected, don't take damage throughout the entire mission, kill your target with something in the environment, stuff like that. Complete those side objectives and you get extra rewards. I didn't care for the rewards, but I did them anyway because, there was incentive to be stealthy, and I wish the main missions had those side objectives, or just made them a requirement for certain missions to, just raise the stakes a bit like in the other games. The entire story is all we're assassins and we're the hidden ones, and then every mission we're fighting in the daylight and raising alarms. So that was my main issue with the game. However, I had fun because I chose to be stealthy 100% of the time, even though the game didn't require that from me. Now, the issue that everyone seems to have is Basim's ultimate ability, which is his teleport, which they say he's moving so fast the animals can't keep up with him. Let's just call this what it is. Alright, he's teleporting. I used this ability once or twice and never again because it just felt kind of cheap killing so many people at the push of a button. I prefer to kill all the enemies myself while being stealthy. That was just more fun for me. But yeah, this is another area the game feels like it's contradicting itself. He's so fast that the animals can't keep up, but it feels like he's the slowest assassin out of all of them. His takedowns are slow. I like the parkour and free running, but sometimes it feels like he's jogging or heavy on his feet. I would have liked a bit more momentum in the parkour. He's doing all this movement and he's going nowhere. He's running like Drake from Uncharted, like knees to chest, Basim. God damn. The guards just be catching you if you decide to run on foot instead of doing parkour to get away from them. And this goes back to, stealth not being supported, but there's so many instances where guards are walking in pairs, and I want to do a double takedown, like the old games, but only chain takedowns are in this game, just one kill after the other. So if another guard spots you killing his friend because you initiated the chain takedown, he'll just wait for his turn to die. For all the negatives I list though, at the end of the day, I did find myself throughout my day going, I feel like playing Assassin's Creed, which is a good thing. For all its faults, it's still very enjoyable. So that's what I have for the negatives. Let's talk about what I did like, and hands down, that would be the map. I love Baghdad. It's really colorful despite being a mostly sandy environment. The RPG games were really big and you used your mount a lot of the time. And the older games were city-based, so you could parkour everywhere. I think this is a good balance between the two, having condensed city areas for parkour connected with open areas for your mount, and going from city to city for different missions. There's a lot of gear chests hidden everywhere, and figuring out how to get them using parkour to get to a broken window, and figuring out stuff like that was, a pretty interesting challenge. So the game takes about 17 to 20 hours to complete, but I did it in 24 because I was exploring and trying to collect the hidden chests and notes everywhere. It's a fun challenge trying to figure out how to get into those locked rooms. Another aspect I love is the way you can tackle the big final target mission. So the mission structure for this game is similar to Hitman Freelancer. You get intel and take down smaller targets which reveal the big target. So it's kind of like a hierarchy setup. Start at the bottom and work your way up. There's following people, blending in and eavesdropping on conversations and stealing notes. There's actual assassin and intel work being done, which is cool. When you uncover a target and have to assassinate them, they're normally holed up in like some big compound that's heavily guarded. And there's multiple ways to get inside. Draw out your target and then assassinate them. And all these different ways to approach the mission is what I liked. If you're not the stealthy type, you can storm the gates and fight the guards, you can find secret entrances, or look for cracks and spaces in the outer walls to get in, or jump from an adjacent building into the compound. The overall freedom to complete the missions as you want is where the fun is. So the game isn't fully like the classics, but one area I wish they did go fully like the classics is the actual combat. Fighting guards gets old extremely fast because of how simple the combat is. Dodge, parry, attack, that's it. You only have swords and daggers as weapons, which is boring. And another contradiction, because at the start of the game when they're training you, your mentor says you should learn how to use many types of weapons because you never know how a fight is gonna go, and you just stick to these main two throughout the entire game. I don't know why single player games are moving away from the weapon wheel in favor of just a few weapons. If it's a single player game, I want to feel like a one-man army. Brotherhood had so many weapons and also the double hidden blades, which was good for doing the same double takedown I mentioned earlier that you can't do in this game. The weapon choice felt very limited. Now there are skills and tools that you can use like throwing knives and smoke bombs, and you can also upgrade them, but I would take having multiple types of weapons like spears and axes in the older games on just a big weapon wheel like in Brotherhood and the earlier games than having a few weapons that you can upgrade like in this one. The last thing is that the story was cool, I guess. I'll be honest, when I think of this game, I won't remember the story at all or any of the characters. They didn't really stand out to me. Basim has a personality of cardboard. I feel like all the assassins were somewhat charming and he just didn't have that. And I can't say much more because I guess that would count as a story spoiler. But when I think of this game, I will remember I had fun and I loved the map. And it is truly the classic games because at the end of it, I was confused as hell as what I just witnessed in the final cutscene. I had to go look for an explanation video on what the ending meant. And yeah, that is the true Assassin's Creed experience right there. Being confused at the end of the game. I still can't tell you what the hell the Apple of Eden is or what it does besides shoot lasers. But yeah, this is a pretty decent game. It's 20 hours long for $50. I can't complain. I'm pretty satisfied. Everybody seems to want a 10 out of 10 game of the year, and I don't know why every game can't be that. And there's nothing wrong with an okay game. You know, you can play it once, enjoy it, and move on. And for me, that's this game. So if you want a decent game to play while waiting on other games that you really want, this is perfect for that. There's a lot of stuff to collect and side missions, so it's also a good time killer. Good job, Ubisoft. This is the first game I enjoyed from y'all in a minute. But that's all I got on my notes. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below if you played the game. What do you think of it? Did it live up to your expectations? Subscribe for more videos. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.